Now listen. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus! Ultra!
Hey, what's up my fellow Beyonders? Plus Soldier James here, coming at you with another video from the Shattered Glass universe of Go Beyond Comics. So my friends, it's finally here. Transformers Shattered Glass issue 4. Feels like I've been waiting forever for this to drop. So thank you guys for being patient. Those of you new to the channel or to this story, if you want to catch up, links are in the description box down below, or you'll see a link pop up right here. Now with that being said, I'm powered up and ready to dive into this issue. The issue opens up with narration from Goldbug telling his origin. We get an awesome reveal here that Goldbug was Bumblebee. He says that after the war he should have been a legendary Autobot. He did more than enough to earn his place as Prime's second in command until he was defeated in the last battle on Earth by Megatron. And the Autobots don't reward failure. As I was reading this, I realized we actually saw his defeat in the second issue of Shattered Glass when Megatron saved Thundercracker from him. Starscream even said in his narration in that issue, it led to Bumblebee needing a new frame. So I like that this was set up early on in the issues. Bumblebee's new body was one of his choosing, one that was stronger and bolder with a new name that wasn't said with a patronizing smirk, but one that reflected his standing. However, after gaining his new frame from Ratchet, Goldbug learns that Prime only approved his revival because he had the means. If they didn't, he realizes his life would have ended on that battlefield. Prime wouldn't have gone out of his way to bring him back because he failed to kill a Seeker and didn't even leave a scratch on Megatron. Now, whispers of that failure spread and it kind of haunted Goldbug. We go to present day with Goldbug and Jetfire after capturing Starscream in the last issue are torturing him now. They're trying to get him to reveal the Titan communication key. However, the dilemma they're facing is they just can't kill Starscream and take his spark, because if they do, they'll damage the communication key. As Jetfire and Goldbug discuss this, they receive an alert about an intruder. We see this intruder is Skywarp, having teleported in, coming to save Starscream. But his rescue attempt immediately fails when Goldbug discovers him. Honestly, Goldbug is no one to mess with. He gives Skywarp the beating of his life. And through Goldbug's narration, we learn that he feels insulted that Skywarp was sent to save Starscream and Megatron didn't come himself. He takes it as the Decepticons not taking him seriously like Prime did, thinking he's not a big threat when he's an Autobot warlord and even Prime won't come after him. Goldbug grabs Skywarp and takes his head. I couldn't believe this happened. Goldbug is just vicious. We go to a flashback of Goldbug trying to tell Prime about a plot by Prowl to overthrow him. To no surprise though, Prime isn't taking him seriously and isn't worried about Pride, that actually he suspected him for a long time because the war broke something in him. Goldbug gets angry to the point that he even insults Prime, which he immediately regrets. I actually love Prime's reply to Goldbug. He says, "I've conquered more creatures than you and Prowl could ever dream to be. I crushed Megatron and the Decepticons. I need not concern myself with lesser Cybertronians. In the end, I can destroy you with a word and leave you in the gutters." He then hits Goldbug with the drill and says, "Because I'm the one with the power, Bumblebee." Prime just really digging in the knife with calling him Bumblebee. Like, this was badass. Who then appears from the shadows after Prime leaves is Prowl. He basically tells Goldbug that he told him Prime wouldn't listen to him, that Prime really believes no one can take him down, but Prime is right about one thing, that power is the only thing that matters on Cybertron. Whether you use brawn or brains, it's the only thing that really matters. Prowl then asks Goldbug, "Are you finally going to listen to me on how we take Cybertron?" Back to present day, Jetfire still continuing to torture Starscream offers him a chance not to die, trying to convince him to live and uphold Megatron's ideals, but it doesn't work. Jetfire begins to think and sense that Starscream is refusing in order to spite him. Goldbug returns with Skywarp's head and presents it to Starscream. One thing that's interesting here that we learn in his narration is he believes it's not Starscream's stubbornness that's the problem, but Jetfire's weakness. That if he didn't need his expertise, he would have gotten rid of him. He taunts Starscream, saying Megatron couldn't bother to come save him himself, and without him, he's nothing. He then orders Slicer to go out to the city streets and kill every Decepticon they see in order to draw out Megatron, while Jetfire breaks the encryption. When Jetfire says he needs more time, Goldbug replies with something snarpy here. He tells him that he needs to do what his boss says like a good little scientist. That if Starscream can't be used to give him a Titan, then he'll use him to give him the Decepticons. Now what we see next is Goldbug really has a temper. Kind of a Napoleon complex going on. Starscream taunts him about how obsessed he is with Megatron, saying he thought he learned from years of kneeling at Prime's feet. Goldbug gets pissed and then tries to kill him, but Jetfire stops him, reminding him of the Titan. Slicer then informs him that there are more intruders. We see the intruders take control of one of the bots here and knock out the other guard. And the intruders we see are the Decepticons, which look awesome here and definitely the perfect stealth group. They're going through the facility, taking out all the guards here until they meet Goldbug, who ambushes them, first taking out Bombshell here. The interesting thing we see here as Goldbug is battling the Decepticons by himself is we see him thinking about a battle between him and Prime that took place in the past. This is where we really see what drives Goldbug and what haunts him. As he's just taking out the Insecticons here one by one, we see in his battle with Prime, he really wasn't a match for Prime. He just couldn't best him and ended up really running away. That's why he's an Autobot warlord. That's why he created Gold City, and that's why he wants a Titan. He not only wants to be like Prime, be feared like Prime, but also beat him in every way possible. Goldbug takes out the last two Decepticons and asks Jetfire what's the situation. Jetfire replies asking has he lost his mind because nothing's changed in the short time it took him to take out the Decepticons. After Jetfire says that to Goldbug, Goldbug says in his narration he's taken out everyone. He's done his part, but there's one Autobot here who hasn't done what he's supposed to do, that he's just begging him to let him be soft. He returns to the torture chamber and points his blaster at Starscream, ready to deliver the killing blow. And that's where the issue ends, my fellow Beyonders. This issue was awesome. It gave you Goldbug's history from Autobot soldier to Autobot warlord. It told and showed you what his driving motivation is, what haunts him. It showed you his faults as a character. I really like that each issue, except really the first one, focuses on a character and gives you all of those things. I've really been enjoying this series. But always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below your thoughts on this issue and on the series so far. And hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, you guys have an awesome day. Peace, love, and blessings to you and your families. And always remember every day to go beyond plus ultra. See you guys.